Quick, easy, and to the point. I'm just going to make a video this week to talk about why I dig Photoshop and why I think it's an important program and why I think it's important to teach how to ethically use it. Um, First off, graphics design and art in general has always been something that's been a part of who I am. I've been drawing since I could pick up a pencil. In previous things I've done, I've talked about my long-term use of computers and programming, and I've designed web pages. But Photoshop in general is something that even to this day, one of my 7 different degree changes I went through going through college, graphics design was one of my thoughts. Um, the school I was going to didn't have a great computer graphics design program, unfortunately, which kind of steered me out of it. But fortunately, roundabout that led me to education, which I think is where I truly belong. So, kind of the history. I've used Photoshop for all sorts of things, whether it be just the creation of some kind of my own art piece, if I'm trying to get out some sort of emotion that I'm trying, whatever. Um, if I've written a poem that I want to give a good background to. I have done some formal graphics designing for some companies, or for myself even. Like I designed my wife and I's wedding invitations. I've edited some pictures here and there to what your photographers would do. Um, and it's such a powerful program, and I love it, and it's good for so many different things. However, it is important to make sure that you are being very ethical when you are using it. First and foremost, you've got to remember copyright laws. If it didn't begin as your piece of art, then you best make sure you have the rights to be editing it. If it's not your piece, you're not allowed to touch it, unless, of course, it's a shared, a free variety of a picture that you can have access to. There are plenty of those on the web. You just need to make sure that, if you're grabbing something that's a stock photo, it's not from something like stock photos where it's copyrighted unless you've paid for it. So I think that that's the most important thing to teach a student, first and foremost, straight out the gate. The other thing I think deals with a lot further issues than school typically has to go. Um, I think it's important, especially when you get into older grades, to begin talking about the work that can be done with Photoshop, um, that can lead to and has led to body image issues. I think it's something important to talk about from the very beginning, because they need to realize that those models, men and women, that are on the covers of magazines, most of the time they're not real. Um, and I can airbrush abs onto just about anybody. That doesn't make it real, and that doesn't mean that that's what a kid should strive to have. Yeah, you want to, make sure your kids are being healthy, but past that point, you want to make sure that they're not trying so hard to be healthy that they're being unhealthy, because that happens a lot. Um, so really, those I think are the 2 most important things that you need to talk about when you're talking Photoshop, or anything for that matter, because I could do some of these same things with Google Drawing even. The minute I bring in a picture and I start modifying it and using it as a background, technically I should be making sure I'm using a photo or a picture that's not copyrighted. So copyright issues, and then the power of Photoshop and how it can change an image to alter it to something that's not reality, which ultimately is the goal of it. But we've got to make sure we perceive an image that's been Photoshopped as just that, a Photoshopped image, and not as reality. So thanks for listening.